This Father's Day, skip the tie and give Dad what he really wants. A day at Canterbury Park. Amazing food trucks, live racing, and a shot at winning a brand new Lazy Boy recliner from the Furniture Mart. Father's Day done right at Canterbury Park. Get the details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Also known as the meat sauce recliner. Hey-oh! Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common Houston to be excited and delighted to be joined by the legendary Mark Rosen. It was the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history, 29 points. And let me guess, you never gave up on the Knicks. You stayed with it, and you thought all along this club has what it takes to get back into this game.
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I stayed with it. I watched it because it's the NBA Finals. But I think from here on out, this game, this comeback will be measured against all others. We have seen our local squad, the Timberwolves, on both ends of situations, not quite as extreme, but certainly 20-plus point comebacks like the one they had against Denver a few years ago. And we bemoan the fact that they've given up 20-point-plus leads, but not with this on the line. And, Anunoby's shot may have won the game, but San Antonio scoring 30 points in the second half lost the game. I mean, it was an absolute meltdown of coaching, bad decision-making, throwing up three-point shots with, 18 seconds left in the shot clock like they were going to make them all like they did in the first half.
Well, if they make one more, they win the game.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that it was when you blow a 29-point lead, it doesn't happen over, over 1 minute. It obviously is a cumulative thing. And your guy, Cat, ended up making the biggest defensive play of the game at the end where
we didn't need him, by the way. We decided we'd rather have Rudy Gobert.
I mean, he's not going to win the MVP award but for the finals, but he's...
The guy who should win it is Anunoby.
He might win it, but I mean, Brunson probably will if they win the series. But, but for him to get his fingertips on a really well-designed play that San Antonio, because I think everyone expected somehow Wemby's going to get the ball. He's got 1.2 seconds to take a shot or get fouled or whatever it might be. And they had a great play designed for Castle, and Cat got his fingertips on it, and never reached him. And by then, I think it did, but by then the clock had gone off. But it was something to see. I mean, to have a meltdown like that, and for the Knicks to win it at home, and the first time a home team has won in the final series, and now with a 3-1 lead. I don't know, is it over? I mean, you say to yourself, how does San Antonio recover from
Are you rooting
game?
for San Antonio on this game? Because you said you wanted a longer series.
I do.
And what if they win 3 in a row? And then your New York, your favorite. I
wouldn't be happy with it, but I wouldn't mind seeing it.
You regret though then wanting San Antonio to win game 5?
No. Because I enjoy watching this series. I mean, I
want them to just end it because I want basketball to be over so we can talk more football.
Listen, I mean, now that the Vikings are on break till the end of July, there won't be a lot happening. But it is kind of crazy. Both the NBA Finals, and we've been through this before, and we have the same discussion. Apparently, I think year after year. But we got another game tonight in the captivating Stanley Cup Finals series between Carolina and Vegas, and that's 2-2. So that's going on for at least 6, and here we are in the middle of June, and we're playing our winter sports in the middle of June, and every year we go through the same thing, and before you know it, they're starting training camp in September. But no,
I'd like to see 7 games.
I wouldn't mind it. I always like to see it. I mean, there's nothing better in sports than Game 7. If you have a 4 out of 7 series, I think Game 7 speaks for itself. That's all you have to say is Game 7.
Can I throw this out at you?
Sure.
Let's say it goes to Game 7 and your favorite team loses Game 7, then you'd rather have a 4-game series and your team wins.
Well, no, I wouldn't. I'm not that invested emotionally in the Knicks. I want them to win, but I don't really. The Wolves. I see what you're saying.
Would you rather them win 4 games to none and win the championship in sort of undramatic fashion, or go to a Game 7 yet lose in that 7th game?
The Wolves are a different animal, different story. No, I mean, I'm just talking about as a fan watching.
The Knicks isn't even an animal. The Wolves are, but the Knicks aren't an animal. So
that's true.
So when you say different animal, then you know what the Knickerbockers really are? Those are pants.
Yeah, knickers.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we could look up the origin of how they got.
Have
you?
Yeah.
I don't know when they were. Obviously the team's been around for forever. Yeah. Did you stick with it? I mean, I guess someone reported that maybe like 200, 300 fans actually left Madison Square Garden at halftime.
I would have. Had I been at the game,
gone.
I would have left the game had I been in attendance. The only reason I didn't turn it off last night was I had it on. I turned the volume down to a level where you could barely hear it, and then I just
a little bit.
Yeah, did read. I dozed in and out. I'm not going to pretend I saw every minute of the second half, but I saw the fourth quarter. I woke up. It's 15 points. Right. I'm thinking, well, the game's over, but all of a sudden, and next thing you know, it got to 13, and then it got to 11.
Yeah, it was a slow drip, but they managed to keep. They kept. You look at the scoreboard, and I'm saying to myself, "Uh-oh, if they cut it to such and such by this time, and I think Wemby definitely got exhausted. He missing those 2 free throws, and he's arguably the best free throw shooter on the team. Was very telling. He had played, I think, 44 minutes last night. I'm just looking at the box score here, which is more than what he's used to playing. And, I don't think there was the best coach game you've ever seen in your life. And I think, obviously.
Well, I understand. I said the same thing about, when you have that kind of a lead to not milk the shot clock and to throw up 3-pointers. But as I also said, had they made one more of those 3-pointers, they win the game.
Well, and if Fox dribbles out the ball and gets fouled, that may have won the game. He's a really good free throw shooter. That was just a mental. For a veteran on a very young team, I don't know. And he said he thought Anunoby, he had beaten him down the court. It was a great play, a hustle play by the Spurs to get the ball and have an opportunity to pretty much ice it, but Fox made a mental blunder that's just hard to imagine.
Well, the other play that almost doomed the Knickerbockers was when Hart had he picked off an errant pass. He's he's got a Spur trailing him, and he couldn't decide. It appeared to me he didn't know if he should slam it or lay it in, and by the time I think he wanted to slam it and then changed his mind and tried to just lay it in, and it bounced off the rim, and San Antonio got and then I thought, well, that's going to cost him the game.
100%. But everybody in Madison Square Garden probably thought it was going to cost him the game.
Correct.
So, it had it all. And of course, when you play in New York at the Mecca, everything's exaggerated from all the stars there and everyone around him, all the former New York Knicks players there. And you have a situation like that.
Can I give you a pushback on this? Just because,
sure.
New York likes to think, they think they're the greatest city in the world and this is the greatest, everything revolves around New York. And they call it the greatest arena. Is it really?
Well,
I would say the Coliseum in Rome.
Not anymore.
Well, it's still there.
I know. I was just there.
Yeah, they don't have
exactly.
But still, that's the greatest arena on the planet.
The Lions aren't playing the Christians anymore on Sunday afternoons.
But that is. Well, they didn't play. They didn't play Sunday afternoon. They were Saturday night.
That's true. I would call it an arena. That was more of a stadium.
Yeah, it was a stadium. I just get so tired.
I think it's a figure of speech. Look, when the Knicks have been as pathetic as they've been, really for decades, and people in New York know it. It's not exactly like, man, we got to go to a Knicks game tonight. They haven't been. Our guy Tibbs was there. They've made it. They've had some runs. A year ago, they've been knocking on the door. This was really unexpected. I think your Pistons look like the team to beat most of this year. They were. Detroit, Cleveland. The Knicks were kind of an afterthought for most of the season and to a great extent the postseason. And then they got healthy and other teams did not at the wrong time. And here they are now on the precipice of winning their first championship since '73.
We'll break, come back, more to get to, including controversial Vikings news. Tennessee's got a keyword for us in our national cash contest.
Yeah, the fan has your chance to win $2,500. Just enter the keyword travel at KFAN.com now. That keyword is travel. Enter it now at KFAN.com.
Couple 13-14 pass. I'm common. He's 10 to beat. Legendary Mark Rosen is here as well. Knickerbockers, they have the greatest comeback in finals history, down by 29 points. They end up winning by 1 on the tip in Anunoby at the 1.2, and then as you mentioned, Cat with a nice deflection tipped inbounds pass, and then they just weren't able to get off a shot there. We celebrities all up and down Celebrity Row, including, I didn't know she was a big Knicks fan, but Taylor Swift. I had no idea she was a lifelong Knicks fan, and so were her two. She had 2 others. They mentioned who they were.
Singing. I don't know who they were.
I don't know who they were, but they were.
Either.
I don't know who they were, but they were a couple of other singers that are, I guess, in her friends of hers, but they were courtside as well.
She was sitting next to her beau, soon to be husband, during the Cavs playoff, wearing a Cavs shirt. So, I wouldn't exactly describe her as a long-time Knicks fan, but, such is life when you're living that life. So be it.
You and I had talked about, courtside seats, and you had suggested that these celebrities are paying for their seats.
Probably not.
But they're not.
No.
Ben Stiller confirmed in an interview that he does not pay for his courtside seats at Knicks games, explaining Madison Square Garden invites A-list celebrities and essentially comps their tickets.
Where do they draw the line? They had a bunch of them last night.
They apparently now Spike Lee, apparently according to the story, he pays for his season tickets, and part of that reason is then he can express his frustration, because if you are given complimentary seats, I don't think you're going to be too hard on the hometown
team. He's been doing
team.
that for forever. Yeah,
he has, but the others, and I guess part of the agreement is basically you'll high-five a fan or two in the stands, you'll stay for the entire game, and you'll mug for the Jumbotron every once in a while. So, yeah, I didn't think, it's like with the example I used when we were talking about this, I guarantee any high-end restaurant in town has a table that if somebody like Anthony Edwards walks in the place on a Friday night and says, hey, a couple of my buddies want to have a place to sit, and they are sold out, Mater D has a table.
Sure
he has one there. Yeah. And so, and it caused, I always thought that was just common knowledge, but apparently this is like, Ben Stiller let the cat out of the bag. And I just assume, I had no proof of it, but it seemed, I think McEnroe, they show him on TV right now. He's a lifelong fan. So is, we just mentioned Spike Lee.
Right.
I maybe Larry David, maybe Jerry Seinfeld, maybe Jimmy Fallon, maybe they do attend games on a regular basis. I would think not, but I don't know that. And so it's like, it's kind of the place to be in New York City. It's the city that never sleeps. And if you're looking for something to do in New York, the place to be was Madison Square Garden. So they want to be there.
Like I said, I wonder where they draw the line, because they had a list of all the celebs and maybe the A-listers, as you mentioned, a lot of them, and the B-listers. But then, not everybody can sit literally courtside. So there's people in the second row, third row. Are those also comped? How do you decide? Mariska Haggard.
Well, I can tell you where it is. I would think only the first row are given to celebrities, because those are the ones that you can see
Tracy
at courtside on TV, and you can see them also courtside at the game. If you're in the second or third row, you kind of blend in. Unless even if you're a well-known celebrity, you kind of blend into the second and third row. So I would think it's just the first row.
I think our guy A-Rod was there last night. They had him on the list, identified as former Yankee great, not Timberwolves co-owner.
Right. Well, that's because they're establishing the tie to New York.
Of course.
Just like, Spike Lee's got a tie to New York, so Seinfeld, most of these people do have a tie to
Spike's been here. He has been a true blue Knicks fan for a very, very long time. Timothy Chalamet now, he's a young kid, really good actor, but he's been with Kylie Jenner and, so, you're going to have that. We're used to having, when the Lakers were, perennial champions and winning championships, it was always Jack Nicholson. And then even going back to 2004, when I covered the Wolves in the Western Conference Finals out there, I was like writing down, Prince was sitting like and it wasn't the front. We had really good media seats. I don't know why they gave us great seats. Like DiCaprio was sitting in front of me. Prince was like three seats down with his bodyguard next to me, gave me one of those, hey, how you doing, man? And then, he
recognized you.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, who doesn't?
Who doesn't? But
probably from that famous photo.
I think that's what he mentioned.
When you were 11 years old at the World Series. It's a famous photograph.
But, you're writing down, Dustin Hoffman, Antonio Banderas, you got all these people, Meg Ryan was sitting behind me with her son. I remember that.
She had seats behind you.
Behind me, I know. But DiCaprio was sitting courtside with his 19-year-old girlfriend or whatever. This was back in 2004. He's still dating 19-year-olds, I think, but good for him. But that's L.A. and it was always about Jack Nicholson, because he was first and foremost. He was always front and center.
Well, and at the time, during the heyday, he was maybe the most sought after actor for film.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's, it was always great to see, Jack. And they sit right next to the visitors bench. So he used to, I remember Flip Saunders, the late great Flip, they'd exchange little barbs here and there. And because Jack would always have he was sitting next to the visiting head coach, basically, because that's where the team sat. So KG and the rest of the gang was there. But, that was the scene, was the LA scene, because the Knicks were awful. They were never in that situation to play in the finals back then. So now it's different. Now it's shifted to the East Coast, and a lot of those West Coast people, I'm sure, would love to be there because it's different turf. But some of them are, and saw a lot of them last night, including Tay-Tay. Yeah.
A lot of the beautiful people there.
Beautiful people.
And I understand why the average New York fan was a bit annoyed by that. And, but here's the truth of the matter. Most of those average New York fans, it's the truth, they couldn't afford the tickets anyway.
No.
Because they do get, I looked up, and I don't know how accurate this is. Again, this is just when you Google cost of courtside season tickets for the New York Knicks are among the most expensive in sports, costing roughly $300,000 to $400,000 per seat annually for a pair of baseline seats, which translates to about $4,000 to $6,000 per game. These prices are subject to surge pricing and team performance. If they're a terrible team, you're not paying that kind of money. Because the Knicks are playing in the NBA Finals, pardon me, secondary market prices for individual courtside seats have skyrocketed to $50,000 to over $200,000 per game. Now, they go back to San Antonio. Let's say that the Spurs win that game.
Right.
That makes it 3 games to 2, right?
Yeah.
Then game 6 also in San Antonio?
No, back in New York.
Oh, yeah, the final 2 would be New York,
the
right?
Spurs had home court.
Oh, that's Spurs do.
You have the 7th game if it goes 7.
If it goes 3-2,
right?
What do you think those tickets would go for?
I can't even imagine. That would be
extraordinary
the clinching game and the celebration.
And the last one at home. I mean, it's no
right. Either way.
Yeah, either way.
I can't even imagine how much they'd go for. And I'm sure you're asking me that question in the previous segment. How would you feel? But I'm sure a lot of those Knicks fans, as much as they want to see New York win the championship, they really would love to see them win it at Madison Square Garden. So I don't think a lot of them will have their hearts broken if the Knicks lose the next game, because they're coming back home then and have a chance to win the championship on their home court, and they have a chance to go to the game and say, "I was there when it happened." I mean, take it when you can get it. I don't think. And a few of them. I mean, Spike Lee will be in San Antonio, and Chalamet will be there, and a few others will
they'll
make
be getting
the trip.
Free tickets,
courtside tickets as well.
This one, this text messenger says, I'm with you, Common. I wanted Cat to win, but now I'm rooting for the Spurs. Can't stand to see the fans bully people just because they're in Spurs jerseys and throwing things at Wemby. They were throwing eggs at Wemby last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let alone see all the rich people so happy-go-lucky and do whatever they please at these games. I understand that, where you see the beautiful people. It's like somebody, by the way, told me it was American Express. Their commercial in '87 was membership has its privileges, and being a celebrity, you got to be privileges. And then the way, Philadelphia obviously has always gotten a bad rap for their fans because of what they, what Vikings fans experience at the NFC Championship
and a lot
game.
of fans.
But they're not any different in New York City. It seems to me, and I don't know this for a fact, it seems as though East Coast fans seem to have that harder edge, and they just don't care. They don't mind behavior that is really considered unruly.
And they turn on their own players. I mean, when the Twins were playing that one game playoff against the Yankees back when Molitor was managing, my media seat was out in the right field bleachers. I remember the Twins knocked out the pitcher of the Yankees. I can't remember who it was in the first inning, and they were booing him like, not just leave Yankee Stadium, leave New York.
Yep.
It doesn't take long for them to turn on their own.
Yeah.
They eat their young.
Indeed. We'll pause and come back. We'll return. One more segment to go. It's the Common Man program along with Tenneby and Mark Rosen here on The Fan.
Join Nordo and KFAN for a Team USA watch party tomorrow night at B-52s in Inver Grove Heights. Catch USA versus Paraguay. Kicking off at 8 p.m. with games, prizes, and drink specials, all while rooting for the red, white, and blue. We'll see you at B-52 Burgers and Brew tomorrow night in Inver Grove Heights.
It'd be time for Peek at the Pros, brought to you by the Minnesota Golf Association. You can get more out of your game when you join the MGA. You receive a handicap index that allows players of all skill levels to compete on an equitable basis. You can play top public and private courses through the MGA North Star Series, Senior Tour, and official state championships for all levels. And new this year, the MGA Ladies Tour, open to any adult female member and backed by popular demand for a number of years now. Junior golfers can play for just $5 through Youth on Course at 150 courses statewide. Get more out of your game. Join the MGA. Visit mngolf.org/membership, mngolf.org/membership. Tenabita, I bet we have a golf tournament going on somewhere here in the United States.
Actually, not in the United States. It's north of the border. It's the RBC Canadian Open at TPC Toronto at Osprey Valley North Course in Caledon, Ontario. That's a lot to say.
Yes.
Sahith Theegala is your leader in round one. He shot a 6 under 64 today. Bunch of golfers tied at 5 under. Sam Ryder, Tony Finau, Ricky Castillo, Bryce Garnett, Adam Svensson, David Skins, Jimmy Stranger, Emiliano Grillo, and former Golden Gopher Eric Van Rooyen.
I assume a lot of big names are not playing because of the U.S. Open next week.
That would be the case. That is in there. There are some that would they like to take the day off. They want to work on their game or go play the golf course and get used to it, or they just take a little break from the action. A couple of text messages that came in. This one says, "Who cares what celebrities are and what sporting and what sporting events talk about idolizing and pedestalizing?" And I said, "Well, we weren't idolizing and pedestalizing. We were just talking about how." As a matter of fact, I'm surprised that that there seems to be enough value for like Madison Square Garden for the NBA or anywhere that they would say, hey, if you'll sit courtside and wave at the Jumbotron, we will give you free tickets because it helps. I guess it helps attract fans and makes it more enjoyable. Then he texts back, I'm saying as far as broadcast showing who's there, social media posting pictures and videos of celebrities at any game, who cares? Millions of people do care. I don't care either. I don't care who's at games. I don't need to see Jimmy Fallon or Adam Sandler or any of these people. It doesn't matter to me. But there are people that interest them.
It's part of the scenery. I'd say when you're in New York, it's part of the scenery. I don't think a lot of people, the average fan, and there are a lot of them. The NBA is setting record ratings right now for their sport. I think with the captivating series and the personalities involved. I don't think a lot of people after the game, the fans were going, man, Ben Stiller did that. Right. They're talking about the shot. They're talking about the miss. They're talking about Wemby. That's what fans are talking about. I mean, it's just a byproduct of playing in New York City. That's what it is. Yeah.
And like I say, I just think the reason they show them on television is that does attract eyes. There are people that this country, not everybody, but there are people that they are infatuated with celebrity and celebrities.
But People Magazine's been around for so long.
So, like, if you are a big fan of, if you're a big fan of Taylor Swift, you like to, even if it's just a glimpse of her on TV, you think it's cool. If you like Larry David, you go, hey, there's Larry David. I really like his show.
Looking like Larry David with his legs crossed.
I really like your show, Curb Your Enthusiasm. And then you see Adam Sandler. Oh, I've seen him in movies, and I've seen him. And so there are people that do get a kick out of that. I'm not one of them, but I think I'm in the minority there. The head coach of the soon-to-be big game world champion Minnesota Vikings addressed the local media today and talked about the quarterback situation and the competition. Your thoughts?
Well, it's the last day. OTAs are done. Next time we see the Vikings will be the end of July when training camp opens, like for every other team in the NFL. And and KOC 10 and I were talking about this after his last little news conference today. He says a lot without really saying a lot. And what's he going to say? He could have said, well, look, Kyler Murray's going to be my starting quarterback. Well, he said, his quote was, I think to give an actual date would not be necessarily accurate from a portrayal as how we see it. There's a timeline to make sure that we can allow the competition to continue and advance and lay out in training camp to allow us to do that. So when the Vikings report back at TCO in July, whatever day it is, they will. I mean, I'm sure in his own mind he probably knows who's going to start, but he's going to let things play out a little bit, and I would assume that by the first preseason game, we'll have an idea. I gotta look at my schedule here. They play the Giants. When is their first preseason game? August 15th. I don't know. That might be the first preseason game. I mean, that's a month before the season begins, and they'll have meetings. They'll know what's going on. There's a lot more stories out there, but that's the one that every fan's going to be.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I believe. He knows Kyler Murray's going to start. He knows that. There's no doubt Kyler Murray's starting.
Yeah.
But when you have a quarterback that you drafted in the first round, 10th overall, and actually moved up one spot, you had anointed him as your starting quarterback.
Yes.
He was your starting quarterback. He's had his troubles. You've not totally given up on him, I don't think, by any stretch of the imagination. So to come out and say publicly, Kyler Murray is my starting quarterback, what does that do to the mindset for McCarthy? Then he's like, so I am just the kid on the other side of the classroom listening. Yeah. I'm here as a backup, and they don't believe in me anymore. And all of a sudden, his confidence wanes. So to me, it's more about keeping McCarthy engaged and feeling like, and you know what? If he was brilliant, if they go into some preseason and Murray's a mess and McCarthy's pretty good, McCarthy may get the starting job. But if you were to ask the coach and say, tell us right now, if the game was this Sunday, who's your starting quarterback? I guarantee you it's Kyler Murray.
100% I agree with you. And they've been throwing verbal bouquets at JJ this past week in particular, and maybe rightfully so. I haven't seen him practice, but everything, the reporters out there, he's been looking good. Again, it's 7-on-7. There's no hitting. There's no, real defenses that Brian Flores is throwing at him. But, you can still see the improvement that he naturally, as Justin Jefferson says, should be occurring right now where he's at the stage of his career. So, I think it'll play itself out and it'll still be a storyline and people will talk about it. But at some point, it's just the storyline will go away and Kyler Murray will be based on his results when they play the Green Bay Packers on September 13th. That'll be the starting point. They didn't bring him in here to be the backup. That they went through that a year ago, and he's going to start. I'm saying nothing's for sure, but I would say that it's going to be it. And your point, during the preseason when they play these 3 exhibition games, how many of the regulars are going to be out there? Maybe a series or two. You're going to have the defensive guys out there. The offensive line may play together for a short time, but Jefferson will never see the field. Addison probably won't see the field. They got some rookies they're looking at.
Do you think that could change though because Murray is the quarterback? Do you think that it's possible Addison and Jefferson will see some playing time?
No. I think all that stuff is done in practice, and then when the Baltimore Ravens come to town.
I'll bet you Jefferson and Addison both playing preseason games.
Okay.
How much? Let's go.
How do you want to go?
This is how confident I am. $6.
What?
That's how confident I am.
So your bet is that they'll play at least one snap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both
of them. Well, I guess Addison's got a chance of playing, but I'm already backing out of it. Jefferson will not.
Yeah. Well, I don't
think. Yeah. But I'd say when the Ravens are here, as an example, the Ravens are here the 22nd, Saturday afternoon game. At U.S. Bank. So when they come to town, I don't know, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, those 2 days will be probably more important days for the quarterbacks when they're going against the Ravens. Again, we've been out there when they've had those practices and scrimmages where the quarterbacks are wearing the red jersey. You're not allowed to touch them, but you can rush them. It'll be Christian Darrisaw, who's a big storyline this spring and certainly into the summer. Hearing great reports on how important he is to that offensive line and the entire offense. He'll be facing the Ravens' top defensive line, not on Saturday afternoon, but he'll be facing them during those practices. And that's where they'll get a much better gauge of even where the quarterbacks are and where Justin Jefferson is with those guys. So I think those practices are probably more. Well, I know they're more important, I think, to the coaching staff than the actual game.
Here's you're getting broadsided and cheap shot. You said that you and Tenneby were talking during the break that when you were in the other room with him, right. KOC was speaking that he says a lot without saying anything. Someone says Rosen also talks a lot without actually saying anything.
Well, I've been doing it for 50 years.
Yeah.
So congratulations to me.
He was the pioneer.
Yeah, he was the pioneer. Yeah. There's nobody better at it than you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I take that as a compliment.
Well, it is a compliment.
Is that Larry Mondello guy?
No, it wasn't Larry Mondello
okay.
guy. No.
No, that's not a Larry Mondello guy email. It's not creative enough.
I don't watch many Timberwolves games. When I do, one of the reasons I'm watching is to catch a glimpse of Rosie and the beautiful people in the front row to see who he's sitting next to and watch him take selfies. See?
There you go.
For some people, they do like to see if they can. I mean, I will admit that on the occasion when I do put a Wolves game on and they show the media section, I go, oh, there's Doogie. Oh, there's Rosen. Oh, and there's Big Ticket. So you see the different guys that go to games. You see Meat Sauce every there once in a while.
Oh, yeah, he's sat in the front row a few times.
Yeah. No, I mean just in the media section. I'm talking the media section. Because they'll show the media section every once in a while. You can get a glimpse.
The dwindling media section.
Yeah. But you'll see it. You'll see it, and then you'll be able to see something. I just think of how lucky you guys are to get those media passes.
Well, there's not many left anymore. There's not many. They won't be there probably next year. That's just a whole other discussion. In terms of where they're sitting. And I'm talking about the regulars, the Johnny Athletics, the Chris Hines.
Are they going to move too?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Really? I didn't. Wait, hold on. Give me a second here. That's what
I would not be surprised if those seats go for sale next year.
That's breaking news.
Well, I mean, look what they've done with with Alan Horton and Jimmy Pete. They're not, almost every broadcast team in the NBA is sitting courtside. So many times, are
they not courtside anymore?
No, they've been up in the second deck over the overhang for last 2 years, I think. But no, so when Scott Foster, whoever's refereeing the game, there's a review on and they like to come over and tell the announcers what's going on or what the coach is arguing about, or what do you got a technical for, so they can explain to their audience. Doesn't happen at Target Center.
The play-by-play guy, they're not courtside anymore?
No, they haven't been.
Whose decision is that?
I would probably point the fingers at ownership.
Is that Laurie and A-Rod?
No. Who else is making the
calls?
Did
I see that they were charging fans $1 to come in for the logo unveil? I
don't know. They had like 7,000 people out there.
So they made
$7,000. I don't know.
They didn't just let the fans in for free?
Did they donate the money to a charity? I hope.
Who knows?
I would like to think so. But yeah, I mean, I know they had a nice turnout for our uniform unveil. People like it. I mean, they're going to buy a lot of merchandise, and the trees are back and all the, the kind of stuff.
You like that logo, don't you?
I do like it. I wasn't like, oh, boy, I got to get down there to see it. But I'm a little different than, at this point in my life and career and everything. I don't probably get wrapped up in that stuff. But for others, yeah, I think it's cool. If Little B's kids want to get those T-shirts and everything, I'm all in favor. They get excited about it. Guardsy's, same thing.
Guardsy's excited about it. He's a big Wolves fan.
Yeah.
Look at him over there.
He's over there, yeah.
He's over there. He's got his Gopher hat on, and he's over there.
He's at the airport. He's a big shot at the airport now. They literally got a cardboard cutout of him at the airport.
Yes.
Take your picture with Guardsy.
Absolutely. He's you practically live at Kowalski's. He practically lives at Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport.
I know.
He was doing those commercials for it to say it's a place you should just go hang out. They got artwork.
Well,
he's coming in hot a lot. Yeah, it's
airports have changed a lot.
It is considered one of the best, if not the best, airport in North America.
I 100% agree. The number of airports I've been at and the improvements.
What's the San Francisco airport like? I'll be landing there next Thursday night.
It's okay. I mean, you got to take. Are you renting a car?
Have to. Yeah.
You have to. Yeah, you do. So you're gonna have to take a tram.
Sure.
To whatever rent-a-car.
Well, what if I do Enterprise? Don't they pick you up?
I don't know if the SFO does that, but
that's their slogan. Enterprise will pick you up.
I don't think they pick you up at the airport. They don't? I might be wrong, but that's a good little drive into the city. It's a little white knuckler at times, but because it gets a little complicated, make sure you get your navigation system on because it gets a little. But enjoy Golden Gate Park. It's the biggest park in the country, bigger than Central Park. Yeah, it's beautiful. It really is nice. Okay. My son used to live right there. Yeah, and not too far on the other side of where you probably want to go to Haight-Ashbury in that area. But
yeah, well, I'll stop by there. I had a number of people.
Yeah, it's not
text that it's not. It's It's just cool. It's not like it's some wonderful tourist trap. They have a few head shops there.
That's it.
You buy a T-shirt.
100% agree.
Which is fine for me. That's all I'm really there for.
They have the actual corner, and then they have a sign that's made for people to take pictures and selfies there. So,
and then, so I plan. Can you recommend any restaurants here?
I could recommend a lot, but I don't happen to have them tip of my tongue. But
because you are a
But one thing I'll tell you right now
diner, that's for sure.
One thing you don't want to do is drive to one of those restaurants. They do not have parking lots like a lot of cities do anywhere. I mean, most of them don't even have valet parking because there aren't lots around. I remember when I rented a car there, I was like, where am I supposed to park? 3-4 blocks away if you're lucky. I hunt around, look for a parking spot.
I don't mind 3 or 4 blocks.
Well, but you're going to get frustrated. They're not easy to find. My suggestion is Uber or do whatever. I don't know where you're staying, but if you're going to a restaurant, do not drive there. It's a pain in the ass to park anywhere in San Francisco.
I was scanning hotels. I'm not a 5-star guy. That's a little out of my price range. I know for you it works, but me it doesn't. But you look at some of the others, and even valet parking was like $85 a night.
Oh, it's nuts.
A night.
I know.
And now there are places where you can get a room for $85 a night. Now that's
you don't want to stay there.
That's the Motel 6. But my point is, it's pretty pricey everywhere.
And then that's just my one piece of rosy advice: do not drive to your favorite restaurant because you won't. It's really frustrating to find a place to park.
How was someone's asking how the airport was in Italy that you went to?
Well, we landed in Rome, and that was frustrating because that was the only frustrating part was going through customs because that took a while. And you usually have to be patient with all that, but they're fingerprinting you, and the fingerprint machine wasn't working. So there was an I don't know why. Maybe my fingerprints wore off. So I had to go through an extra step to go through customs with the ID and everything else. And I think it's just a more sophisticated thing, but. You're tired after a 9-hour flight and you just want to get to your hotel. And but otherwise, we flew on the way back from Florence to
Milan.
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
And Amsterdam's airport's phenomenal. That place, everyone goes through pretty much everybody.
Is that where they have hash dens? Is Amsterdam the hash den?
Well, they have in Amsterdam. Yeah. I have not really been exposed to the city.
Do I have the look of a terrorist? Because 2 out of every 3 times I go to the airport, and I don't travel often, I always get pulled over to the side.
I don't blame you.
They always pull me over to the side.
TSA, yeah. You
I
look
always
like
seem
that.
like that guy. Yeah. I don't know why.
Well,
they
you
always
shouldn't have to take your shoes off anymore, so that's good.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. Well, have fun out there.
I will.
I know you guys will. I'm happy for you.
We're flying on a Thursday night. Pete's going to work all day Friday, so... Potato and I are going to do we're going to go nonstop Friday, see as many places, because we're only going to be there for a few days. It's not like, so we're going to want to see as many places as we can.
Oh, you'll enjoy it.
And then Saturday, baby brother Peter's lined up a tea time.
Oh.
I wanted to play the San Francisco Golf Club. The only thing is obviously you have to be a member. And then the guest rate is like $500 or $600 per player. Plus, you have to pay your caddy. It's one of the most exclusive golf clubs in the country. So we will not be playing at the San Francisco Golf Club because I don't know a member.
Yeah.
And I don't want to pay $600 for a round of golf. Oh, that's $600 a piece.
Yeah.
And then when you put in your caddies, you're basically talking
about higher than Pebble Beach.
You're talking about a $1,400 round of golf. Oh, yeah, much more than Pebble Beach because this is private. Pebble Beach, you can still get the riffraff. San Francisco Golf Club, you have to know a member.
So you got another place you can go.
It's one of the most exclusive country clubs in all of the country. But we're going to go to a place called Presidio, which is a nice golf course.
Presidio's, that's a nice area. I don't know the golf
there's
course.
A golf course called Presidio. So we're going to
my little boy's in town right now. We're going to a movie in a half hour.
What movie are you going to see?
Disclosure Day, this new Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see it, and we've been hanging out this week.
I would say go see it.
Go see it. Yeah. I'm not going to give any no spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything about it. But yeah, Spielberg's 50-year anniversary, going back to Jaws and the movies he's made. I mean, just astonishing run of success. That one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. Yeah, so check it out.
And that's you're going to it today,
right? Yeah, in a half hour.
Oh,
yeah.
So will you popcorn guy when you go?
Yeah, I'll get a small bag. Popcorn, but you got to put the butter in the middle. You got to bring it up. Yeah, it depends. I don't know. I'm sometimes disappointed with the popcorn lately, so I don't know. I didn't get it as much.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
Do you know that, you know what Spielberg's very first movie was?
I should.
TV movie called Duel.
Yeah.
Starring Dennis Weaver. Wonderful movie. I won't give it. It's 1971. I suppose I could
give it away.
We'll do it another
Spoiler
time.
alert.
Good to see you.
Yeah, have a good. You're going to be here this weekend.
You have a good weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's going to be. Thanks for having me.
Hey, great job.
You as well. Program.